Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Traders here. It's Wednesday, July 28th, and we're almost through the month of July. So 2 more trading days to go. And of course, this is the midweek video where we take a look at where we've been going so far this week. And of course, lots of earnings reports have been rolling out here. Some of the huge names that everybody's been anticipating. The tech sector have reported this week. And we'll take a look and try to figure out where we might be going for the rest of the week here. So lots of interesting price action going on to take a look at and review. So let's get down to it. So before we get rolling here through the indexes, this is a quick plug for my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you have not checked it out, here it is. It's there for purchase if you're interested in learning how the rules, money management, and routines that I generally use for swing trading. So let's get down to looking at the indexes. I always do like to start out with these Treasury Yields. This is the 10-year. You can see here we're still in well-established downtrend. Maybe we are starting to find a bit of a bottom here. This 1.2 is pretty critical in terms of support. If we lose that, it's heading back down further. I think the markets are going to get a little shaken if we do start to head lower from here. And you can see here momentum is kind of rolling over again on the stochastics. And you can see here what happened to it last time we had that rollover. We actually headed lower again here. So this, may be the same pattern setting up. Again, RSI is sort of giving you the opposite. It's looking like it's curling up a bit, so not getting a confirmation from RSI. You can see on the daily TLT creeped up a bit, which meant the yields went lower. So again, sort of a bit of a warning flag there. The transports, here's another warning flag. On the weekend, we talked about this, how it had come up to this 20-day moving average, which had been using as resistance all the way down here. So we were going to watch to see if we managed to get above this moving average, and of course we failed on Monday and then sold off Tuesday and another sell-off on Wednesday. Part of this was the UPS earnings report, and we may be putting in a double bottom here. So this is something to watch for the rest of the week to see if we can actually hold this sort of 14,240 level. Again, transports are kind of a bit of a leading indicator, so whichever direction they're going, the Dow tends to follow. So bit of another red flag there, and you can see here's the Dow, of course, fighting the transportation trend, but again, we had a false breakout, so good closeout to the week on Friday. Monday had a decent Monday, broke out to a new high, and subsequently we failed over the last 2 days on the Dow. So again, bit of a false breakout here, pulling back, and again, maybe coming down to test some of these moving averages. Again, not great action. It is summer. We do tend to get more chop and less direction in the summer. So, but again, this is not looking like a very constructive chart. RSI is heading lower. Stochastics are rolling over. MACD has the histogram line has gone sloping down. So again, Dow not looking great. Index is looking a little better, and it was looking a little better today. It was the IWM. Small caps, they were up today. RSI, or the stochastics are curling up. MACD is going the right direction for longs, and so is the RSI. So if anything, the small cap index looks like a better bet here for the rest of the week. As far as the Qs go, again, we had a false breakout. We had a breakout on Friday, bit of a higher on Monday, but then sell-off on Tuesday and indecision candle Wednesday. So I suspect that we're probably going to be stuck in the range here for the rest of the week as earnings continue to roll out. Although we've gotten through a lot of the biggies that were happening Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, like Apple. We did Facebook tonight, and it's down a little bit. As well as AMD and the other ones, a lot of the other ones that reported here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the SPY, again, sort of same comment as the Qs. Breakout, Couldn't really follow through on the breakout. We may be, just checking back here to this breakout level. This sometimes happens with breakouts. You get a breakout and then a bit of a failure. We get a pullback to where we broke out from, which is this level right here. And if we can hold this level, maybe we do go higher. But again, we're getting towards the end of the week, less and less earnings, and so we may just chop our way into the rest of the week here. It's kind of losing momentum on the stochastics, and RSI is kind of flat on the SPY. The dollar took a bit of a hit today here. Big drop, not particularly large volume, but again, stochastics really heading lower here. Momentum is really coming out of this after this false breakout. In this case, we pulled back and then basically rolled over, so it was a false breakout, not a check back to the point where we're breaking out from, and then push higher. So dollar looking particularly weak here, and we could be heading back down to the 200-day moving average, which would be good for commodities prices, gold, silver, oil maybe. And emerging markets if the dollar continues to weaken. Let's take a look at the candles at a glance here on the various sectors. You can see consumer discretionary off, been off Tuesday, Wednesday after a bit of a false breakout. Again, communications, bit of indecision there, and same as technology. Industrial's just kind of chopping along here. We may get a bit of a bid now that the infrastructure package seems to have passed through Congress, but I think maybe, or the Senate, but maybe this is already sort of priced in here, so we may not, it's hard to say whether we'll get any kind of pop out of that or not. Energy, been pretty weak here on the actual energy names as opposed to oil. Oil's had a better performance, the actual energy itself, than the companies that supply the oil. Staples off a lot today. Same with utility after this big move on Tuesday. Financials just struggling because of the low interest rates, and will probably continue to struggle. So not a sector that I would be particularly involved in unless we really saw a increase in price on that. So let's take a look at some things that might be of interest here. I'm still holding some forward calls. We had a good earnings call this afternoon after the market closed. Looks like it's heading higher. They actually reported a profit. I think the analysts were expecting a small loss, so that's good. So hopefully we'll start to move back up above 15. I think it still looks good for the rest of the year here. Some stocks still watching. FCX, again, this is copper gold. I think this will do well, especially if the US dollar continues to drop here. So this is something that looks like it's ready to break out. GDX, I was looking at possible breakdown on the weekend, but it looks like it's catching a bit of a bid here. Might be worth adding some and then adding some more if we can break through this 35 level. So I'll be watching that. KWeb, huge bounce. This really got hit with all the negative Chinese regulation news. I think we had a pretty big rally here today that I think was in part short covering. I don't think the Chinese government have all of a sudden decided to become capitalists again. So I think we may get a follow through here, a couple days. There was some late news here I just noticed about Chinese regulators continuing to allow IPOs of Chinese companies in the US, so that may give us an additional pop here on Monday, or on Thursday I should say, sorry about that. Plug looks like it's getting ready to kind of break out here, so I would watch this at the 28 level if we can get above this moving average. Looks like it might be trying to put in a higher low here. We definitely have broken this downward sloping trend line. Qualcomm reported after the close here today. They had good numbers, so I suspect they'll be strong tomorrow. Let's watch that one. Again, we're keeping an eye on SoFi. It still looks like 15 is a double bottom here, which is levels here, so I may take a small position in that tomorrow if we can hold there. And Again, this one here, if we can hold 10, vector acquisition, I believe that's a SPAC. It looks like it's possibly going to be able to bump up here. Viacom's still a dog, no matter how you cut it. X may pop here. I'd keep an eye on that one tomorrow as well, and into the rest of the week, again, especially with the infrastructure news. And Zim still in a downtrend, although I'm still watching this to see if it puts in some kind of a bottoming pattern here. So we'll wrap things up here. Let's take a look at the pre-market, see what things are looking like for tomorrow. We've got the Dow pretty flat, the S&P pretty flat, the NASDAQ looking like it's down a little bit. Maybe Facebook is affecting this. I know Facebook's down a couple percent. And we've got the Russell looking like it's flat as well. So not a lot of movement right now in any of the indexes. And but as I said before, it looks like the small caps, whether it's IWM or if you want to play it through an ETF like TNA, which is a levered ETF, might be good for another move up. You can see here gold is really caught, and silver have really caught my attention here, and I'll be looking for a possible entry tomorrow. And you can see here the yields are down again here. So again, we remain concerned about these continuing to drop lower. What else here? Oil's up a little bit. Yeah, that's it. So hope everyone has been having a good week so far. Let's keep it rolling the rest of the week. We've got more earnings coming up for the rest of the week. Take a quick look here. We've got Amazon tomorrow after the close. We've got MasterCard before the open, NEO. That'll be interesting. Stock that's almost always in play. Twilio after the market closed. Skyworks, Gilead, Health Sciences. So pins will be interesting. And then Friday is usually a pretty light day. Let's take a quick look at that. ExxonMobil before the market open. A lot of these will be before the market open. And then you've got Chevron, Caterpillar, some industrial and energy names, Procter & Gamble. So yeah, some heavy hitters there at the end of the week as well on Friday morning. So lots to keep things interesting for the rest of the week. And as always, we'll be starting the pre-market show at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with Jared engineering the markets, and then 8:30 trading that pre-market action with Norm and Carlos as well. And then we'll be running right into trading the market open. So hopefully you can join us live on YouTube. Remember, the feed is always delayed if you're watching us live on YouTube and choosing not to join the Variable Trading Room at this point. So hopefully we'll see you at one of all those events tomorrow morning. Take care. Have a good rest of the evening, everybody. Bye for now.